Hi guys, welcome to Scorched Earth Tarot. This is going to be a mid-month reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. If you've got any questions like how to book a personal reading or how to find your Sun, Moon and Ascendant signs, all that information is down there in the description box below, including links to my social media profiles as well. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, so if you fancy popping them on there, that's cool. Right. With some of the personal readings that I've been doing, I've been getting some feedback in the last week, and that is to say that these videos that I'm doing, I've kind of assumed that everybody understands what the significance of moon and ascendant signs are, and not everybody does. On top of that, not everybody understands what the difference between the major and minor arcana are, and the court cards and all that sort of thing. So I'm planning to do a couple of videos in the next few days that will be fairly brief. I'm not an astrologer by any sense, but I do have a basic understanding of these things, and I will be communicating that to you so that you understand why it's a good idea to go and watch the videos for your other placements. You know, the difference between having an Aries sun and, you know, say a Pisces moon or something like that is huge. And, you know, if you were an Aries sun and you were wanting a love reading, the Pisces reading would be where you would get that information. Equally, like when I'm blathering on about major and minor arcana and you've got no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to clear that up for you as well. So if you haven't subscribed already and you're interested, do subscribe, because then you'll get notified when that gets uploaded. And, you know, kind of want to build a community here, and I want you to know what I'm blathering on about. So that's the plan. Right then, Aquarius, my victorious little Aquarians, you've had quite an incredible 6 months. Of all the signs that I've read for, I kind of felt the most redundant with you because you had it all in hand so clearly. It's been quite wonderful to see. And it seems to be the same group of Aquarians that I've connected with over and over again for months, which is awesome. But the usual rules apply. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If for any reason this isn't your reading this month, then, you know, watch the videos for your other signs. And yeah, maybe next month, I don't know. Feeling quite vague all of a sudden. Interesting. Right, so let's get some cards for you, Aquarius. It's going to be for the 15th to the 31st of December, last 2 weeks of the year. For Aquarius, please. That's the first one. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and we'll get one more. What's that one? And Justice, which is the card of Libra in the Major Arcana. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, as if you needed your fortunes improving any more than they are. It's wonderful. I love it. I'm just going to get some clarifiers, and then we'll move on with the reading, but this looks very positive already. Ooh, sort of shiver. One more shuffle. Why is the King of Pentacles here for Aquarius, please? Justice. And the Nine of Swords. Didn't expect to see that. Okay. Where's the Ace of Cups here, please, for Aquarius? Where's the Ace? There we go. Okay. We've got the Seven of Swords and the King of Pentacles again. Just checking that wasn't someone knocking at my front door. Why is Justice here for Aquarius, please? Why is Justice here for Aquarius for December? We've got the Knight of Wands. Bizarre array of cards. Cool. Is Justice here for Aquarius, please? Seven of Wands. That's 2 sevens in the reading there, as well as 2 Justices, 2 Kings of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles on the bottom of this deck. Juggling, you know, duties and responsibilities, general life stuff, emotions sometimes. Oof. Right, I'm going to start talking and hopefully the sense will come through. The first card that you've got is the King of Pentacles. Now, that's the King of the Earth suit. So, I'll get the obvious stuff out of the way. It could indicate a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus person, not necessarily a man, but I don't think that's, I think this is an energy. I think this is an energy that you are working on or sitting in at the moment. And I seem to recall one of your readings, either the last one or the one before or something, you had quite a few kings turn up in the reading. It's just like you're channeling the energy of these kings. You're moving outside of your suit to be able to utilize other elements to great success, I would say, because the King of Pentacles is about stability and security, yes, but he's also a business owner. He takes care of his own, and he does that with incredible resource management and resource production, really. He's comfortable, financially comfortable usually, but it can be with, you know, general stuff. If you've got a business, it's going well. Possibly. Because I'm looking at this king now, and he's got a slightly bemused look on his face. His eyes are a little bit starey, actually. I don't know how well the camera will pick that up. And what I'm trying to work out is whether he's staring off into the distance and planning his next move, or whether something that has happened that is making him feel a little shaken, actually. Put a pin in those, because the card that you've got underneath to clarify is the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is it's a card of worry. I mean, it can go from having concerns about things right the way through to mental illness, depression, you know, clinical depression, all of those kind of things. But there is a midway point where it's things that are keeping you up in the night. It can talk about insomnia, it can talk about worrying about things, and because it's come up underneath the King of Pentacles, this is maybe something to do with your house, your home, your business, something, you know, in that sort of area, your security, your financial stability, all of those things. Something has been giving you cause to be having to think about things. But for me, particularly in the Rider-Waite, like the direction of the swords is really, really important. And for the most part, swords being up is what you want to see, because that is truth, that is honour, that is integrity, that is good communication as well. You know, the expressing of ideas well, all that sort of thing. Passing on of ideas, all that kind of thing. When they're down, there's a... Doesn't necessarily mean the total opposite, but it can do. It can talk about deception. It can talk about, you know, pulling the wool over people's eyes. It can, lies, basically. But in the horizontal, excuse me, I find them to be neutral. And so from that, you can extrapolate that those things that you are worrying about have less of a basis in reality than you are currently concerned about at this time. You know, the woman sat, and she's, you know, obviously in a state of some anguish, really. You're overthinking something, is what you're doing, quite dramatically. And you can see all of these possibilities of things going wrong, but actually they are not going wrong at the moment. They are sat in a neutral position on the bed. They're not in any way going to be able to hurt you. Because of the way the king is staring a little bit here. I think you've probably gone into a huge point of overthinking something, being concerned about something, worrying about something. And although from the outside you look like you've got this, and generally, Aquarius, you have got this, I have to say, the starry eyes are making me think that you internally having a little bit of a panic about something. But then the next card you've got is Justice. Now, this doesn't appear once, it appears twice in the reading already. So this is it's a double message, right? But here we are, that Swords up right there. And Justice talks about balance, it talks about fairness, inherent fairness, you know, universal fairness, things either being right or wrong. It's a binary position. And in Justice's world, there is no room for the swords to be horizontal. They're up or they're down. It's just or it's unjust. It's fair or it's unfair. But it can talk about contracts, and it can talk about legal issues. It can talk about court cases, all that kind of thing. So maybe that is something that you've been dealing with that's been causing you some great concern. But it's here and it's in the upright. So whatever it is, you are worrying about it needlessly, and it will come to completion in a way that favours you. And the next card that you've got is the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups is obviously, cups are the vessels that hold emotions, you know, so because water is emotions in the tarot. And I always talk about this as being new love of someone, something, or yourself, potentially, or a renewal of those things. So given what we've just talked about, I feel like this is an emotional investment in something. So it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be something that you've poured your heart and your soul into. And if you've just started a new business, then, you know, that could definitely be indicated by that. But your cup runneth over. You know, it's so full. It's literally spinning out of the sides, and it's being held by a sky daddy right there. Whatever it is that's been worrying you, whatever it's been that's upsetting you, it feels like it's been a corrective measure. Maybe it's bothering you because you didn't see it coming. Possibly. Despite all the effort and the work that you've put into it, maybe that's what it was, and it's really thrown you. But it's a minor adjustment. It's just a minor adjustment to your mindset is what I'm seeing here. And when that adjustment is made, you're back right again. The two cards that you've got here, to clarify, are the King of Pentacles again, and the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords is often referred to by other tarot readers as the Thief card. I don't really like that particularly. There's almost a pantomime aspect to the way that he's running off with those swords there. But I feel like because this is a snapshot of something that is happening right now, there's no context. So for me, I cannot say, he's obviously doing something, and there's obviously an indication that maybe he shouldn't be doing it, potentially. But you don't know why he's doing it. You don't know what the underlying motivation is. There's a sneakiness, possibly, implied. But I feel like that's too much of a pejorative term as well. It's a risk. He's taking a risk. For whatever reason, you don't know. You don't know whether it's for malicious intent or good intent, and it's possible that it could be either. But then we're back to the King of Pentacles again. And because sevens are very spiritual numbers, and they talk about levelling up in ways, and you've got two lots of sevens on the table, this is another reason why it feels like a minor corrective incident to just straighten you up and make sure you're going forwards absolutely correctly. I'm going to pull some more cards for that, because this king does not look concerned. This king does not look worried in the same way that the first king did. And I want to know if this is you having taken a risk on something and it's paid off. You've taken a gamble on something and it's paid off. But in the interim, that point between taking the gamble and it paying off, you were stuck in this bit here. Or whether this is someone else who has done something to you and they get caught. You know, somebody has been behaving in a sneaky manner. Somebody took a risk with you in the pejorative sense. Where's the Seven of Swords here, please, for Aquarius? Where's the Seven of Swords here for Aquarius? Where's the Seven of Wands? Right, the two cards that you've got to come out are two cards of endings, Aquarius. Not only that, the World card is a card that features you. You know, the four fixed signs are on this card. It's Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. But this is the end of a cycle, and it's coming out on top. The Ten of Swords it's off the back of a betrayal. It's off the back of somebody stabbing you in the back. So this is possibly somebody else then coming in. But whatever it is, it's over. It's done. You've got the 9 and the 10. But you've got the World card. This little minor correction, this minor adjustment to the path that you were on. Maybe it was somebody that you had involved in your business or your home life or something who was not behaving correctly, and you found them out. I don't know, take it as it resonates to you. But there's a definite sense of you coming out on top here. You've got justice twice, but you've got a certain amount of treachery is the word that I'm hearing really clearly. Treachery surrounding you, which you are ending. Goodness, I hope this makes sense to someone, because this is like... And then you've got justice, and justice is the card of Libra. It's air energy, right? So it is yours as well, I should mention that. Right? Swords up, everything balanced, everything going forwards correctly as it should be. You know, this could be, like I said, a victory in a court, in a legal case, in contracts, something like that can be that thing. But it's just everything being right. Now that this correction has happened, now that this person who has been, you know, indulging in some underhand behaviour has been caught. Because I don't feel like it's you. I don't feel like it's you taking a risk, because we've got these endings here. And it's something that you've been really worried about. Next card is the Knight of Wands. Now, as a person, this would be a younger fire sign, potentially, than you. But it could be someone who is reckless. It could be someone who is entirely non-committal. And it's not an energy that meshes very well with the King of Pentacles, because the King of Pentacles is methodical and he's built a very solid foundation which he has worked on to get to the point that he is at this point. You know, it's taken hard work, it's taken dedication, it's taken a great deal of investment, probably emotionally, financially, on all sorts of measures. And then you've got the Knight of Wands, who just gallops in and goes, is there anything fun here to go on? And if there is, then he'll stick around. And as soon as the fun's gone, he's off. Like, there's no commitment there to a cause. And the King of Pentacles is absolutely committed. 100% entirely invested. This is not invested. Is this your person? Is this the person that you've been dealing with? Because we've got two Wands cards that have come out underneath the Justice. The Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is about being defensive, or having to defend yourself, but you're defending from the higher ground. And it's come out directly underneath Justice. You have the higher ground for this. To this chap. You know, he's reckless and he's hasty and he's actually kind of dangerous to the sort of situation that the King of Pentacles would build. He's not trustworthy, and that's why he's not the Knight of Pentacles, you know, who is slow, methodical, and does things exactly as the King of Pentacles would do it. He's fast. He's like a spark. You know, he's there 1 second and he's gone the next. There's no commitment, there's no dedication, there's no any of those things. Like, I usually don't mind the Knight of Wands that much, but I feel like there's something distinctly threatening about his presence there. And it's something that's led you to have to feel like you have to defend yourself. It's something that's left you feeling quite betrayed. And it's definitely something that's had you in your head, overthinking and worrying about things. Tell me more about this. As for some more information about the Knight of Wands, and we've got the Hermit, which is the card of Virgo in the Major Arcana, but it's about finding the answers within. It's about going within, but it's about being still enough to know that the answers are there. And then we have the Five of Cups, which is the card of regret. It's about not noticing that those 2 cups are still behind him because he's too busy focusing on the cups that are on the floor that have been spilt over. And if this is somebody who's put a spanner in your works, maybe you're spending a bit of time looking at these 3 cups and being quite upset with the damage that this person has wrought. But then we've got the Knight of Swords. Now, this is great speed. This is active. He's holding 1 sword, just as Justice is holding 1 sword. This is the truth. This is the truth rushing in right here. You spent all of this time, well, however much time it is, you've been defending yourself against these invisible assailants, which is what you see right here, you know. And you've been doing some internal reflection on how this situation occurred, and a little bit of time mulling over these cups, which you feel are lost. You're not noticing these ones back here, and I feel like you should turn around and have a look at those. But then in comes the Knight of Swords with the truth. What a bizarre reading, Aquarius. Like, there's a sense here of you having caught something at the right time, but it being a thing that you had to deal with. It's a refinement moving forwards because you had some people or some energy around you that you needed to get rid of to continue on your path. And it's been an unpleasant deviation from what you have been invested in and what you've been quietly working towards. And it's really upset the apple cart with you. But it's okay. I have 3 cards of advice. Whoa. Alright, I'm going to take those. Yeah, see, we've got 7 of Swords on the bottom of the deck here. Again, we're talking about risk-taking and underhand behaviour. But the 3 cards that you've got as advice are the Moon, the King of Swords, and the Magician, right? So 3 of those are major arcana. They're big energy. And the only one that isn't is the King of Swords, which is your king, right? This is you presenting very strongly and going, no, I'm good. I've got this. The Moon card talks about things that are hidden. It talks about confusion. It talks about secrets. It can talk about the subconscious as well. And for the first time in a very long time, I don't feel like it's actually talking about that. I feel like it's talking about these things that have been hidden from you that are coming to light. And then the Hermit is here because you're needing to spend a bit of time reflecting, because the Moon is reflecting on the water right there on how this happened. But once you have done that, you move forwards very strongly in your power, in your reason, in your intellect. truthfully, you know, just as justice is there with the knight up and the knight of swords has sword up, justice has a sword up there. You know, you're taking these swords from this neutral position, you're taking these swords out of your back, and you're moving forwards in quite a defensive stance. I think I just wouldn't want to fuck with him very much, you know, because he's sat there and he looks quite comfortable, but he's ready to spring, he's ready to go. And then you've got the magician, and the magician has been coming out for you an awful lot. And this dude, he's got a sword as well, and a pentacle, and a cup, and a wand, right? He can manifest anything that he wants. Do not allow this situation to throw you, because you are just every bit as strong as you have been, as you've been moving forward so victoriously. But this is a refinement. This is getting rid of those things around the edges that possibly could have cocked things up for you later on. Don't get stuck in this energy feeling like everything's ruined, because it's not. It's a minor refinement. It's a minor adjustment. I'm going to leave it there, Aquarius. If it resonated, let me know, because I don't know, it felt quite specific. But other than that, I will see you for the January 2020 general reading. Best of luck. You've got this. Justice is on your side. Everything will be cool.